guys, welcome back. My name is Scott and this is another My Bourbon Journey review. So if you're new to this channel and you're looking for reviews of different whiskeys such as bourbons, ryes, American whiskeys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also hit the bell notification. That's going to alert you to when I'm doing new uploads and live streams, things along those lines. So today I'm reviewing the full lineup from Iowa Legendary Rye. This is a company out of Carroll, Iowa, and again, this is going to be a lineup of all 100% rye whiskeys. Starting from left to right is going to be their white rye, which is literally a white dog or an unaged rye whiskey. This is going to be their small batch, aged 18 to 24 month, again, rye whiskey. And this is a private reserve 100% rye whiskey that's aged again 18 to 24 months, just double barreled. So I'll start out from left to right with the white rye, and again, this is going to be literally an unaged 100% rye whiskey. I would expect I'm going to get some sweetness. The rye spice is going to want to come through, so we'll kind of get into that. Before we kind of go through the whole lineup, again, in transparency, they did send me these bottles and asked for me to do a review of those, and that's what I'm going to do today. Again, before I do that, I'm going to read what's on the front and back of the bottles. That kind of gives just a kind of a little brief history of the brand and kind of how they came up with the whiskey and where that came from. So first off, I'm going to read what is on this is going to be on the front of the front of the bottles. So it says, born on a small farm in Iowa during the Prohibition era of the 1920s, Iowa Legendary Rye was originally distilled by a local grandmother and clandestine bootlegger. This is her recipe for a truly legendary 100% rye spirit using rye grain grown locally in Carroll County, Iowa. Now that's what it says on the front of the bottle, and here's essentially what it says on the back of the bottle, which kind of gets into a little bit more of the history part of it. So it says, "Let us take you back to Prohibition and the famous rye whiskey from Templeton, Iowa with Iowa Legendary Rye Whiskey. In 1920, Prohibition outlawed the manufacture and sale of all alcoholic beverages. The fiercely self-reliant men and women of Carroll County, Iowa, unhappy with the mandate and need to support their families and farmers, decided to defy that law and began producing their own whiskey. We used the same rye whiskey recipe that one of Templeton, Iowa's original bootlegging families, Lorraine and Shorty Sextro, used when their family farm was home to closely guarded secret distilling. Operation at the height of the Prohibition, our spirit is 100% rye grain that comes from the local farmers in Carroll County. It's cooked in small batches on our custom one-of-a-kind stills to preserve the original taste and true craft quality, just like Grandma used to make. Enjoy responsibly." So that gives you a little bit of a history or kind of background in terms of, you know, where the name came from, why the whiskey was developed, how it was developed. So that's one thing I always appreciate with whiskey in general, is an authentic or true story, something to kind of dive into a little bit. And I'll have additional links in the description below for you to check out if you want to go to the distillery, find out where you can purchase this. Yeah, so that's one thing. So why don't we go ahead and we'll kind of get into the review part of it. Again, I'm going to start from left to right with the white rye. So again, this is an unaged 100% rye whiskey. Yeah, so up front you're getting that really nice, I mean, there's clearly the rye, there's a little bit of mint. It's sweet, it's grainy, exactly what you'd expect from a white dog, so to speak. Really kind of nice florally nose to that. So let's give this a taste. Cheers. So I think with something like this, again, 80 proof, unaged white rye would leave plenty of opportunities for craft bartenders, things along those lines, anybody at home who is interested in maybe infusing something, barrel aging something on their own. This would be something I think that would be fantastic for that. It's starting out with a quality base spirit. That's something that's easy to work with. It's going to be approachable, 80 proof, 40% ABV. So yeah, this would lend itself to those things exactly. So a really nice type of craft product. So why don't we get into a little bit more of the aged whiskey. Again, these are going to be aged for 18 to 24 months, and this is going to be their standard small batch 100% rye whiskey. So as you can see, a nice kind of color to that. It's picked up a little bit of color, and again, I believe these are aged in 15-gallon barrels, if I'm not mistaken. So that helps to put in contact the whiskey with the barrel a little bit more to help kind of speed up, the aging process. The expansion and contraction from in and out of the barrel, so it's picking up a little bit more flavor, color, things along those lines. So yeah, you can see kind of a light, kind of honey type of color to that. So let's get into the taste. Cheers. So right up front, you get hit with that really, really nice quality rye spice. Little heat. There's a little bit of kind of mint there on the mid palate. Definitely some cinnamon. That's something I really, really like or tend to get in rye whiskeys, is that cinnamon, mint. There's even a little bit of a kind of a chocolatey type of note to that as well. That's kind of just started to develop a little bit. So that's really, really nice. Let's see if this changes a little bit. No, just really easy sipping. Yeah, that chocolate really is starting to kind of come through a little bit more. The mint is there, that kind of like mint chocolatey cinnamon. So an interesting flavor profile I've kind of picked up from this. Really nice. You can tell up front that this is a quality rye. It's still relatively young. I'm not getting that real earthy or kind of grass or like fresh cut hay type of note that I normally would get from a really young type of rye whiskey. So I think this has everything to do with how they're producing it, the quality of the product that they're using in terms of like the grains. So that all goes hand in hand, and when all of that stuff is done properly, it doesn't always have to have a ton of age for it to still be a really good or high quality product. And I think they've done a really nice job with this. So I'll be interested to see what the double barreling has done, whether it's kind of smoothed it out. Usually that's one of the things it has a tendency to do, is to kind of do just kind of smooth things out a little bit. So as you can see, so this is a bit lighter than the standard small batch. So I don't know if this maybe is aged a little bit less, meaning this is maybe closer to the 18-month, and maybe this is closer to the 24-month aging, and that extra 6 months has allowed for it to pick up a little bit more color. But yeah, it's just a tad, as you can see. Let's do this. As you can see, it's a little bit lighter here in my left hand. So let's see what the nose on this is going to be. Yeah, so I still get a lot of the same nosing kind of profile that I was getting from the small batch. Yeah, I'm not picking up a ton of anything different so far. Yeah, just still that nice kind of, you know, sweet, you know, baking spice, little bit of oak is there. You know, again, that cinnamon, a little bit of a, you know, a little bit more of a kind of a vanilla type of note to that. Maybe a little bit more on the, little more floral on the nose. But definitely sweet, nice rye spice. Still getting that nice kind of cinnamon note to it. Well, let's give this a taste. Cheers. Yeah, so a lot of the same kind of flavor profile. I would say just maybe smoothed out just a tad. A little less heat with this than I was getting off the second one, but still, again, the heat was minimal in both, so that wasn't really much of a factor. I would say this maybe has smoothed out just a tad. Still get the nice rye spice. That mint is still there. A little bit of that chocolate kind of note to it. A little more of a honey type of note to that. I don't really want to add water to these. I don't want to proof it down, you know, less than 80. But and again, I don't think that water would necessarily do any of these, especially these two right here, really any justice. But really, really nice product I think they have here. Yeah, just I would say overall, it's a quality craft product. I really like the fact that that's all kind of coming out in all of this. It's very you know, flavorful, not a lot of heat, easy sipping. I think this would be very approachable to anybody who may have not had the greatest experience with rye whiskeys in the past. But I think this is one of those products that's easy to sip on. Again, would be very approachable. Just an overall quality craft product. I can't say enough about the product as a whole. And I mean, I would fully, you know, endorse it and give it a recommendation in terms of, you know, giving it a try, see if it's something that matches or fits your flavor profile. But again, it's on the sweeter side. You're getting those cinnamon, the mint, a little bit more kind of honey on this one, but overall a great product that they're making. So anyway, so I'll have again some links in the description below if there's any contributions you want to make to the channel. I'll have the Patreon and PayPal links again in the description below. Leave me comments. You know, give me a thumbs up. You know, any type of feedback. I always like to, you know, encourage comments. I like to do the interacting, you know, back and forth with all of that. But anyway, so one of the things I always like to say, remember, it's about the journey and not the destination. And that's one of those things where if you enjoy this whole process and just trying different things, it's exactly that. So like I say, it's about the journey and not the destination. Cheers.